Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Going On Daily Radio Broadcast Show. It's season 3, episode 33. I love all the threes. Three's one of my favorite numbers. It's awesome. And I'm Sharon, and with my wonderful co-host Chuck. How are you this morning, Chuck?
I am amazing, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a lot of fun today. So buckle up, everybody. We got a good one.
We got a good one. We're going to jump right into it with a story about Homer and Marge.
Homer and Marge. So this week, our goal is to have the theme of love. It's Love Week, as you can see up there on the screen. And on Mondays, I always try to be like kind of lighthearted. I don't really ever approach anything too serious. I like to enjoy our Mondays and just kind of kick the week off with, some fun. So when I saw that it was going to be Love Week, I was actually watching an episode of The Simpsons. And it hit me right then and there without any other thought. I'm going to say that completely transparent. Never thought about it again after this, but Homer and Marge Simpson are an American icon. They are probably one of the most well-known couples and one of the longest running television programs in history. So I felt like Homer and Marge deserve a little bit of respect here on Love Week. And I did a little bit of research to kind of find out how Homer and Marge came about and some of the things that we've experienced with them over the now almost 40 years that they've been on TV. Yeah. And to me, that's awesome as well. The Simpsons, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but before they became a TV show on their own, they were actually like a little skit on the Tracy Ullman show back in the day. And it was like one of those things where they looked very archaic and they didn't look like the Simpsons, but it was them, and then they kind of evolved into what they became. And I believe it was 1988 that The Simpsons hit the airwaves, and they've been on ever since. So,
yeah, they've been literally, as you say, an iconic show. And speaking of shows, I just want to say good morning to Jake. Thank you for joining us this morning, Jake. Glad to have you aboard.
Yes, Jake. Good morning. Jake told me the other week that I look like Bubba the Love Sponge, so I've been doing a little bit of work on my diet, and I've also been exercising a little more. So no offense to Bubba, but that's not the comparison I was looking for my overall general appearance.
Jake says, Homer Simpson's the reason why I found out about dancing itos.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know. Can you elaborate on that, Jake? We'd love to hear more about it.
Unless it's the dancing Judge Ito from back in the day. It could potentially be him. Could be. I don't know. The Simpsons have predicted a lot of things over the course of time. It's one of those deals where they come back with the meme and they're like, yep, it was Judge Ito. There we go.
Good job, Chuck.
Oh, it's your boy. I was just guessing there, but I know. So I was thinking back to Homer and Marge, and it's like, they've been through so much together. They've had, rough patches in their relationships. Throughout the course of the series, they've, just about called it quits, and then, love brings them back together. So I wanted to do a little bit of research on this and see, how did this come about, Homer and Marge? Because I've watched the show, but I'm not going to lie and say I've watched all 40 years, every episode. But Homer and Marge Simpson, apparently they met in high school, and they went to high school together in the 70s. So I was, just a young man when they were meeting each other back in the day. They met in high school, and the way that it happened was Homer, being his normal jovial self, I guess got in trouble and was put in detention. And believe it or not, he was not very good of a student. That's horribly stated right there. He was not very good of a student, but you know what I mean. And he needed a tutor. And this is where this young lady, Marjorie, shows up as his tutor. And Marge is the tutor, in spite of the fact that they are completely opposite of each other. You know how that works. Opposites attract. Homer and Marge became a couple in high school in the 70s. But then there's a turn in the road, and I don't even remember this part of the storyline, but Homer actually stood up Marge for the prom. And you would think then that everything would come to a screeching halt and that would be the end of it. But that would be a horrible ending to the story, and we know that it goes further. So after that, Homer finds his way back into her heart. They become a couple once again. Homer proposed to Marge after finding out that she was pregnant. And I'm assuming that Bart Simpson was the product of the first pregnancy. They get married, And he took the job that he's had for the last 40 years at the nuclear power plant to support his new family, which later would also feature Lisa and Maggie. But that's why Homer works at the nuclear power plant. He basically found out he was going to be a dad and he had to pay the bills. So that,
wow.
that was the most common sense job at that point. They married in a perfect ceremony, which was very on brand according to what the very, very low key situation for them. So Homer is getting married because he's going to be a dad and he's a stand-up guy doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do we know, speaking of stand-up, do we know why he stood her up for the prom?
No, I was trying to find that out. All I can assume is he probably had made a mistake and was maybe drunk or,
that's
something that Homer would do.
Sitting at the bar with Mo.
Yeah, exactly. At 18, he probably was. So that's one thing I didn't get to figure out, and I did not see the episode, so I don't recall. But she found his heart, and he found her, and they got back together. They had to, of course, when she found out she was pregnant, Marge put her dreams on hold so she could be a stay-at-home mom. And Homer struggles with his responsibilities. We just talked about Mo and his tendency to hang out at the bar and drink beers with the guys and maybe not be the most responsible man. But through all, these guys have still maintained this relationship. There has been a few different instances where you didn't think the Simpsons were going to survive, where Homer would do something stupid and Marge would, leave him temporarily and they'd find their way back. And the thing that I love the most about the Simpsons is throughout the entire thing, it's not ever been a sugar-coated Romeo and Juliet type relationship. It's always been extremely real. Like, you got the aloof husband who does all the stupid things. And I'm sure that there are probably people watching that could say, I can sympathize and I understand because I probably have a stupid husband somewhere like that too. Or I know someone that does. You've got the grounded wife who had to give up what she was going to do with her life so she could support the family. She stayed home and did it. It was about as real as you could get. And that's why I thought The Simpsons would be a good story for love to start Love Week on Going On Daily, because it really is a love story. They were high school sweethearts. They've been together for well over 30 years. Well, now it's like almost 50 years since they met in the 70s.
And it's actually, I don't know if I want to say typical, but kind of typical of a household in the US at that time, or in North America, because I'm in Canada and you're in the US. So a North American household where the wife gave up her dreams to raise the kids, stay home, be a stay-at-home mom. The husband went to work and got the first job that he could because he needed to support his family, and good on him. But, pressure, stress, he'd go to the bar after work and have some drinks with the guys. And the wife was at home going, come on, where are you? It's 8 o'clock. The kids are bathed and in bed and you haven't even come home yet. So yeah, and normal struggles that every family had. And, then more kids come along when you might not be ready for them. Like when a child's the last thing you want. And all of a sudden, oh, look at another bundle of joy. Great.
It's been a life-changing program that, like I said, it's mirrored real life from the very beginning. And you see these things where they're like, The Simpsons predicted this like 30 years ago. And I don't know if those are true or not, but I fall for them every time. Like, that this was going to happen because it happened on The Simpsons like 10 years earlier. And I don't know. That's an American icon right there that I hope never goes away. I hope that Homer and Marge stay married together for eternity. And I hope that there's many more years of, anger and bliss.
Exactly. The yin and the yang, the push and the pull. Yeah. Like every relationship has. I mean, any couple, and I don't care who they are, if they say, oh, we're happy all the time and we just, no, BS. I call BS on that, because you can't be happy all the time together.
Nope.
Human nature.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cartoons sometimes mirror humans much more than we'd like to admit. So we're all just a big cartoon show.
It is a big show for sure. Yep.
Yes. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we kick off Love Week here. And
a true love story.
Rock and roll.
Love it. And now we'll move on to our social media promo. You can watch us live on Kick, on YouTube, on Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting, on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, and on X at Broadcasting RI. Those are the places you can watch us live. And hopefully you're doing that right now.
Indeed.
You can, oh yeah. You can also catch us after the fact on radio at iHeartRadio, Red Circle, TuneIn.
We have some new ones on here too.
Yeah,
We've
I
got
know.
Amazon Music on there as
Amazon
well as
Music, thank
iHeart. Those
you.
are both new, I think.
No, iHeart's been here forever, but
All right.
Amazon Music is new, and that's where I was stumbling. So you can see us on Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You can
And
also on MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, Space Hey, Patreon at RI Broadcasting. There's so many platforms you can catch us on. And on Patreon, you can purchase beautiful merchandise like this mug. It actually makes coffee taste better, keeps it warm. It's beautiful. I love it. I love my Going On Daily mug.
I love that. That was such a great, like, it keeps coffee warm, folks. Like, that's what you need.
Coffee warm.
Coffee mug.
The thermal the thermal dynamics of this mug are very, very good. It's made well. So you can also follow us on Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. And you can support the show at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net, where you can give us your 2 bits or your 2 cents and help us continue doing this every day. Help Ron keep making this great product that he makes every day.
Oh, look at this. It appears as though we've got a new Hall of Fame from the last time I was on. I was not here last week, so I was unaware of what we've got going on here, but this is stellar.
Yeah. So Hall of Fame, we can vote. It's a new month, so it means a new slate of voting. We can vote for Twin Peaks, The X-Files, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Oz, and ER. What's your favorite 90s show? How many of these have you seen, Chuck?
Well, this is very interesting. I have seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've seen The X-Files. I've seen Oz and ER. I don't recall Twin Peaks, but I think I probably have seen that. I'd say if I was going to vote here, I got to go Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, very interesting.
I have no reason.
I'm torn between ER, The X-Files, and Twin Peaks. I don't know. But so we have a QR code to make it really easy for you guys to vote. So what you just hold up your phone, do it, and it literally takes about 30 seconds. I did it one day on the show. Chuck did it one day on the show, and easy peasy. So Ron made it so easy for you guys to vote for your favorite 90s show on the Hall of Fame. Twin Peaks, X-Files, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Oz, and ER. So we look forward to seeing all those votes come in.
Indeed. Millions and millions of votes, like last month and the month before. And we see our friend Becky is just waiting forever for the eye doctor right now.
Yeah.
And you have to admire the courage. Her pupils are dilated. Everything's blurry. But one thing is clear, and that is Going On Daily. And Becky made sure she was here for that. So
she did.
Shout out to her for her courage.
Absolutely, 100%. And she's getting ready. She's taking care of business before she goes on her trip to Africa tomorrow. So exciting. So exciting. Super excited for her. Pumped. Have an adventure of a lifetime. Amazing. Okay. And good luck. We hope everything goes well at the eye clinic today, Becky. All right. So we're going to move on to our next bit of business. And since it's Love Week, we're going to talk about what does love mean? What does love mean to you, Chuck?
I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I guess it depends on the way the wind is blowing.
Okay, good point. I mean, as we grow older and as we, surround ourselves with different people, our definition of love changes. So I thought I would look up, since it's Love Week, I would define love right off the bat, since we're on Mondays. Love is an emotion characterized by strong feelings of affection for another, rising out of kinship, companionship, admiration, or compassion. In a related sense, love designates a caring concern for the good or welfare of others. So I thought that was, kind of an all-around encompassing definition. And of course, it's also used to define sexual attraction.
Indeed. That's the definition I'm more aware of.
Yes. Well, I think that's how it starts out. I mean, let's face it, that's the beginning of it. That's the beginning of where typically, and our host Ron says, like the great band said, love stinks from the J. Giles band.
I was going to say Love Hurts by Nazareth, but.
Well, actually, I like that one better.
I
like that one
Ron's
better.
an aficionado. He knows good music, so I definitely don't want to dispute with him, but I do think Love Hurts might be a little bit of a more iconic tune.
And I got to throw out a Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It?
There you go.
Some relationships, that's the way it's like, what's love got to do with it? Anyways, so, when you get into a relationship, it's full of admiration and compassion and patience and kindness until, 6 months in and you're sitting across the table from them, they're chewing really loudly.
Yeah, stop breathing.
Then it's a test. It's a real test.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or, if you're arguing, if you get into an argument or a disagreement, shall we say, a discussion, you just want to win that argument. Love will come later. You'll circle back to that, but you're gonna prove your point. You're gonna say what you have to say and circle back. Bethany says we have to learn how picking our sexual partner carries through energetic. Yes, we do. I just read an article on that today, and it is unbelievable when you enter into that sexual relationship with someone, and on the energetic level, you're picking up their past partners, all of their stress, all of everyone. Like, it is because you're tied energetically once you commit that intimacy act. And it was eye-opening. I haven't dated in a long time, and after reading that, I'm not sure. Like I think I'm okay.
Good to go.
So Chuck, what are your pet peeves in a partner? Because we all have pet peeves.
I'll be honest. I think I am probably more of a pet peeve than the pet peeves I have, and I think that I just would like to find someone that actually is compatible with me, that can feel the same sense of energy. That seems to be my biggest problem, is I've got more energy than most people. And I think I start to get annoying way before the 6-month period, but that's just who I am. So that's going to have to be a non-negotiable in the situation. But I think pet peeves are getting annoyed by me too soon, and just give me a chance,
Yeah.
I'm not that annoying. It's just a phase.
Once you get used to it. Have a lot of energy. What are you talking about with energy wise? Let's hear.
I just have a lot of natural energy. I get up early in the morning. I go and, I'm like 100 miles an hour from the get-go. And I have some weird, I don't think they're weird, but I guess if you looked at them societally speaking, some weird habits that I do, like, getting up that early, going to bed early, some of the things I do for hobbies and such. And it's like, you'd have to find someone that would be willing to accept everything that's wrong at this point and say, you know what, that's not wrong. That's just who you are.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest thing for me. I think trying to change people is the biggest pet peeve.
Yes, you don't. And why, if you are in a relationship with someone, why do you want to change them? You're there because you enjoy their company. And one of the things that my friend and I say is, what's right about this that I'm not seeing? So yeah, where's the correctness in this? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? So yeah, that's exactly it. And I'm like you. I just want to find someone who can be open and grow with me. And going to bed early, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Getting up early. Did you know there's a 4 a.m. club?
I see them every morning at the gym at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's like 13 people and myself.
People who thrive, people who are successful, people who have purpose. They're purpose driven and they want to accomplish a lot in life. Go to bed early and get up early. And by 6 a.m., they've accomplished more in a day than most people do in a day, or by 7 or 8, give them 4 hours and they're on it.
That's how I tend to be. I get most of my stuff done before 8 a.m. and then I'm a total train wreck. It's like whatever shiny object gets in the way, or whatever thing I can find to be distracted by, I'm pretty good. But that 4 to 8, that's my window. I get everything done, and it kind of makes me wonder what else I could get done if I applied myself in that same manner throughout the day. But life wouldn't be as fun if I applied myself all the time, would it?
Exactly. Bethany says, as long as the potential partner is not sniffing rocks, then game on. I think this is why I'm still single. I agree with you, Bethany. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So now there's different forms of love too. So you have your paternal love, your love of a child. You have, as we've discussed, your sexual love. You have your love for your best friend is different than that for your love of a sibling or your parents or your children, or, like there's just so many layers to love because we have different, it's the same feeling, but it is different, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've experienced the different forms of love, like to your parents, to your siblings. I'm not sure if you have children, Chuck, but
I don't.
Okay.
But I understand, yes.
Yes. You probably have friends or siblings, nephews and nieces that you love just like your own.
Absolutely.
You strike me as that kind of guy.
Yep.
That you would be very
100%.
loving and kind. So, and then there's love of food, love of music, love of, outdoors, nature, hobbies, love of work. Some people are excited to get up and go to work in the morning and they love their job, so there's so many different layers to love. And, brotherly love for others. You want humankind to achieve and to do well, and everyone to be happy and healthy and live the best life that they can live. And then some people, it can be used to tongue in cheek, right? Oh, I love it when my husband doesn't hear a word I say.
Oh, yeah.
And the husband is like, I love it when my wife is nagging me. You can be sarcastic with it and have some fun. I mean, love is a very versatile word.
Absolutely. It's up to your own personal interpretation and what you make of it. And there you go. I love love.
I love love too. I really do. And I love a good love story. just like Homer and Marge, right?
There you have it.
I love a good love story. That's probably why you watch the show. That and the bar scenes. So there's also 5 different kinds of love languages. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware that there were 5.
5. Okay, so you've got words, acts of service, receiving gifts, or giving and receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. What's your love language, Chuck?
Quality time, 100%. 100%.
Yes. That to me means more than, like, I have friends who her husband bought her a car, which is wonderful and amazing, but that's his love language. He gives her gifts. On her birthday, he'll take her golfing and he will have 18 gifts wrapped. And he will give her 1 gift each hole.
All right. Like, I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah. No, that's pretty
good.
Yeah. He goes.
I'm glad that's not my deal.
But they never spend time with each other because they both have busy lives. They both have, oodles of friends. And so they're out. I think they go to the lake every weekend, but when they go to the lake, they have lake friends that come to their cabin. They're the entertainment people. So they're surrounded by people the whole weekend at the lake. And those people don't go home until 3, 4 in the morning. And then they're back by 10 or 11. So they go home, they sleep, they get up and they go back. So they don't get a lot of alone time. I would trade the gifts for the alone time. And I'm not saying with him, but I'm saying, in general, I'd rather have that. Yeah. And, there's words of affirmation. People just love to be told that they're loved or that, they're wonderful or they make someone's life complete, those types of things. But yeah, heartfelt messages. And then, people do write poetry and they write music, and love is expressed in so many different ways and so many different forms. And it's a very versatile word that transforms into a language. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, our host Ron's, or producer Ron, says that he writes poetry. I love that, Ron. That is interesting. Very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, so love. Love, love, love. And then, I mean, in different countries, there's different ways, different, wedding ceremonies and different things. But yeah, because I thought, oh, love. And then I started doing some research on it, and I do not know where the word originated. That was where I wanted to start. And then I just realized right now that I don't have that information.
We don't know the origin. We just know that love just popped up one day and it's been here ever since.
Yeah.
That was the most random thing ever. We need more of it right now too, folks.
Oh, we do. What the world's need now is love, sweet love. It really does. And because there's so many people going in so many different directions, and there's so much happening. I mean, being a global entity is wonderful in so many ways. We have, news from around the world. We Ron says it started on Blue Lagoon.
There you go.
You may have a point there, Ron. But too much knowledge sometimes, because of all the distractions, the wars, the problems, the subversion and discrimination in all the different countries. And so we realize how much love there isn't, but at the same time, we realize how much love there is. So two sides of the same coin, and it's beautiful and tragic at the same time.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about some self-driving cars.
Oh, let's talk about some self-driving cars, shall we? So check this out, Sharon. Mm-hmm. I live here in San Antonio, Texas, as you're aware, and we have a situation going on here that I was unaware of until just a couple days ago. And basically, we've got a bunch of cars driving around San Antonio that have nobody in them. And they're just rolling around randomly through neighborhoods, through parking lots. And I started thinking about this because I was on my way the other day somewhere, and I looked over and I just randomly noticed that there was nobody in this car. So I'm like, I kind of want to see what this is all about. I start following it, right? And it knows it does a turn signal. It gets over into the next lane. It stops and it knows to look left and right before darting out in front of people. And I started seeing this and I started thinking to myself, okay, number one, what are they doing? Why do we have, this is primarily in the middle of the night, I've noticed.
Oh.
Why do we have these cars driving through neighborhoods, driving through this? Is it like a Google Maps type scenario? Are they collecting data on everything in real time? What's going on? Are they trying to figure out ways to teach the car how to drive without having so many people out on the highways? I don't know what's going on. So the one thing I do recognize is this might not be a bad idea. And I start thinking about it, right? Initially, I look at this and I say, well, I enjoy driving. It's fun. I've driven literally probably 1 million miles in my life. I used to be a full-time truck driver. I used to, travel across country, across the state of Texas all the time. I enjoy driving, but I don't enjoy other people driving. And this is something that I've really come to notice over the course of time as I evaluate my own personality. This is one of my weaknesses, is I get frustrated sometimes by people that I would consider stupid. We'll just use the word stupid. I know that's not the nicest word, but these people are stupid that are out on the highways that are messing things up. And I realize if you're in Texas, for example, you got to drive from San Antonio to Dallas. You get stuck in 3 or 4 areas of construction and traffic jams. And I think this really adds to the frustration because you know that as soon as you get through here, you've still got 2 hours of driving. So there's really nothing of any value to being stuck in these traffic jams. And the more you realize what's going on and what's causing them, the more you start to realize, I think we have a solution to the problem. And it's these self-driving cars, because every single traffic jam, Sharon, every single traffic jam is caused by one person. One person always makes a bad decision towards the front of the traffic jam, and it causes a screw up for everybody. Every single car accident, not every single one, sometimes there are failures and such, but the majority of them, and I haven't done any actual research, but I'm just thinking in my mind, The majority of car accidents are caused by operator error, by people not doing what they're supposed to do, or panicking, or, you know, any number of things that could go wrong. So now my question is, this is one of the things that plagues mankind tremendously. Road rage, I think, is a huge problem. I saw a guy here in San Antonio last week almost get shot. Like, legitimately, I saw it. And I got out of town quick, and I didn't do any kind of video because I didn't want to be an accomplice or an accessory, but it was over road rage. And I see road rage all the time. And if you go on TikTok and you type in San Antonio, our traffic is so bad that we've got our own little theme song that this girl sings. And basically you'll see cars flipped upside down on fire and this little song plays. And I start thinking to myself, how far would it take us if we could eliminate human error out of automotive travel? And I think we've got it.
Wait, may I interject?
Please.
I agree with Ron. He said no one's teaching them about situational driving. So when a self-driving car is driving down the road, and if somebody swerves into their lane, they're automatically programmed to either go left or right. Like they're programmed. It's not, they don't have the capacity to have their sensors look around and see what's safe. So if they have to go onto the sidewalk and there happens to be a family walking down, that's what's happening.
Oh, so
like
this is something that I have not taken into account.
Situational driving cannot be taught to a self-driving car. And well, Ron was referring to people, but I'm referring to the cars. Yeah,
see,
you're right.
Everybody's a bad driver.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a bad driver, even the robots. Now, see, this is something that's a whole new factor that I didn't take into account at all. And now I'm wondering, okay, what happens if I'm driving beside this thing like I was the other day and I cut over? Is it going to like jump onto the sidewalk and hit somebody? Like, I mean,
you don't know. So this is a thing when self-driving cars first came out, I know a bunch of computer programmers, and literally that's what it is. It's a computer program that are in the cars. And they said there is no way to teach them situational awareness. So they will be programmed to either, and you'll see different makes that will program them in a certain way, right? Because they think it's safer, or they, less chance, less risk. They're all worried about mitigating risk, and rightfully so. So you can't program them to be situationally aware, which,
very
and
interesting.
Ron made a good point that lots of people aren't situationally aware either. And the other thing is, you can't teach them to drive on the winter roads that we have in Canada. Like, you can't. When it's black ice, when it's
got to have that feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've still got a little bit of development here. Now, do you think that this is something that we will be able to achieve? I think that with thermal imaging and things like that, you can probably figure a way that it'll eventually understand the conditions of the road and adapt accordingly. Human touch, I think, in a situation like that is very important, though, because if you start sliding, I mean,
then they're going to be programmed to do a certain specific thing, whether it's right or wrong, and it's situational. So if you're driving and you start sliding, it depends on the conditions of the road at that time. You can't make the same corrections every time and be successful. So, but I have friends who called an Uber, and they were in Europe somewhere, and I don't know where, I can't remember. And it was a self-driving car. They got in, sat in the back, looked around, there's no driver, and a computer started talking to them, and, okay, we're taking you to wherever. And they said, okay. So it was weird. They almost thought they were being, like one of those meme shows or something. They're being,
like you're about to get punked.
Yes,
like it's going to lock the doors and start doing donuts real fast, and you're on camera. Yeah.
Looking around, and they got out. They took them to their destination. They got out, and away they went. So there are self-driving Ubers some places in the world, which is really interesting.
Well, here's a question for a self-driving Uber.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do it.
Does this eliminate tips? You no longer have to give a tip.
Well, no, because you're ordering on the Uber app, right?
So they just charge you extra no matter
on
what.
The Uber app, yes.
They make up for the tip by just charging you $3 or $4 extra bucks for the self-driving idiot-proof car. And I do think that this has got a potential in the future for being the end of bad drivers. But here's the key. Every single person has to have one in order for it to work. So until we can get to the point where everybody has a self-driving car, I think we're going to still have to deal with the element of surprise and of people, doing their makeup while talking FaceTime to the kids and eating lunch on the way to work. And
watching a show. I mean, I can't believe they put the ability to watch something on TV
in your
while you're
dashboard.
driving.
And it's like, what are you talking about? Why is this even a thing?
Yes.
I have a hard enough time just paying attention. Heaven forbid I have a television in front of me while I'm driving. I've never understood the thought process behind it.
No.
And it is a contributing factor to a lot of these accidents that the self-driving car would eliminate. And if I could get a self-driving car here in Texas that would just go like from here to Houston or something like that, I think I would probably do it.
Would you really?
I think I would. I think at that point, it's a horribly boring drive. And I get frustrated when I get stuck in that bumper to bumper traffic. And I think that's where it would be most beneficial for someone like me. I think that I wouldn't be as angry to be stuck in bumper to bumper traffic because I wouldn't be physically controlling, I need to get going. I need to move faster. Get out of my way, you idiots. I think if I would just be sitting back kind of calm, maybe that would be a benefit. Maybe that would actually even add years to my life expectancy. So
less stress, longer life.
There you go. Waymo is the one that we've got here, and they're Jaguars. They're nice cars.
Ooh.
And I think that I hope at some point in my life, which apparently I'm past the midway point, according to statistics, by a decent margin, I would like to see a world where nobody can be a bad driver, where everybody can have a car that can drive you to where you need to go, and they all act together in perfect harmony. And we never have car accidents, and we never have fatalities, and we never have road rage again. That is my wish for the remainder of my days on this earth. Hopefully it's going to happen. We'll see. You make some very good points.
Well, I think in areas where it's, weather is cooperating, then definitely. If you have nice weather and the roads are dry even rain, whatever, but, no extreme weather conditions, then yeah, sure. Why wouldn't that work?
I think we should do it here in San Antonio. I would be willing to give up my car right now in exchange for a self-driving car. If anybody wants to use me as a guinea pig, game on.
How maybe your roofing company could be a sponsor for a self-driving car.
Well, I want to make sure it's not running people over on the sidewalks before I sponsor it and before I put my logo all over it. But if we get to the point where we feel confident that that's not going to happen, I would definitely put like one of those, like almost like the buses have, a giant billboard or something that spins on the top.
Wrap.
So,
or wrap the car, have a logo on the side.
I would drive that as my daily driver. I would get in, I'd just be like, take me to wherever you want me to go today. Type it into my Google Calendar because I don't even know where I'm supposed to be, car. And I think that would be one of those things where if we could just get rid of stupid drivers, the world would be a happier place. I think harmony would be, it would almost be non-negotiable at that point.
Well, but can you imagine being stuck in traffic with, let's say you're in a Lambo and someone else is in a Ford or whatever, and you're stuck in this traffic jam and people get out because they're self-driving cars. You don't have to be sitting in them. And everybody's arguing about if you drove this kind of a car, if you had those ones are crap, blah, blah, blah. I can see that happen.
At that point, then
too much time on their hands.
Yeah, I get it. And I guess that just cements the fact that people are going to argue about anything, no matter what the cause is. Yes. We got to fight about stuff. And even if we lived in a harmonious world with no traffic jams or car accidents, we'd still find a way to be pissed. So God bless the humans.
Exactly. Oh, Ron says they'd be on their cell phones, so they'd be oblivious. True that, Ron. True that. They probably wouldn't even know.
Yeah, they would all have high-speed internet too, so we'd be getting work done. I'd be doing roofing proposals.
You'd be sitting with your laptop on the thing that folds down from the seat in front of you, just like an airplane. Have your laptop up there and be working. Yeah.
I think we've come up with something here. I think we've changed the world, and I think that they're pretty much on the way to doing that right now. But if it doesn't make it all the way through, we can pick this idea up and run with it, and I think we can save the entire world. So
I think we need to talk to Todd.
There you go.
There you go. I think you two could really come up with something there. He's driven. He says he needs a sense of purpose.
He definitely is driven, and I think he
And-
could probably loan me a couple bucks to do it. So
And successful. He knows
Yep.
how to run a successful business. So I think if you want to populate the world with self-driving cars, he's your man.
There we go.
Mm.
I'll let you know how this works. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for it. I'll let you know what happens.
Awesome. I'm
If
excited.
you guys never see me again on social media, you know that it worked, and I just become like
See ya.
the face of the driverless car.
You'll be doing your podcast from the backseat of your driverless car.
I would love that. There was actually at a roofing convention a couple months ago, they had I think it was a 57 Chevy or it was a Cadillac. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was an old school car. They had it on rollers. It didn't have an engine in it, but they set a podcast studio up in the back seat. It had the microphones in there. The cameras were facing back, and it was completely restored. And I don't remember what they were calling it, but it was an idea that I was quite envious of. And I thought, man, I wish I'd have come up with that. But
you can
there you go. Mobile
podcast. Mobile podcast. Yep. What did they used to have? Singing in cars with celebrities or something? And didn't Jerry Seinfeld do?
He did coffee in cars or comedians in cars or something like that. And
and then
good. The Howard Stern episode I recommend.
Oh, really? Was it good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, Howard's an interesting guy.
A character, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I think you're onto something, Chuck.
I think so. We've solved a major problem in the world today.
And just think, when you're stuck in traffic, if people actually put their cell phones down for a minute and talk to other people it could circle back to the love. People could
we have literally taken all the hate out of the world. We've eliminated bad drivers. We've eliminated road rage and car accidents with this one simple move. And we're going to restore world peace and love.
Yep. I think you're onto something. I think that's a beautiful idea. We got it. We got it. See, doesn't take much to solve the world's problems. A couple of self-driving cars and away we go.
That's my best idea since the roofing robot that I came up with a couple years ago. Stay tuned.
Are you pursuing that? That would be cool.
We'll see. We shall see.
Especially on a 1212, things like that.
It's pretty far-fetched, but it's pretty awesome too.
No, because if you had a few, especially on dangerous roofs or cut up roofs that have a lot of peaks and valleys, that would be the way.
Throw a robot up there, let him bounce, and hey.
Yep.
Just
and a couple
take
of his
that leg off,
friends.
Put a new one on, get you a little screwdriver, fix him up, and you're good.
Yeah. If he falls off the roof, it's not a big deal. You got Robot Bob for backup.
I think we're solving more problems than we ever set out to solve this morning. I had no idea that we were going to change the world this much. I knew we were going to change it, but this has been amazing.
Just the tip of the iceberg, my friend. Just the tip of the iceberg. We can do so much more for global peace and unity and safety. Now we're bringing safety into it.
Yeah. We're just making the world a better place. That's what Going On Daily is about. And if you're not watching us now, you're missing out on some magic. Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, speaking of missing out, well, or being rear-ended. Being rear-ended. So the next, we're talking about evacuation. How did you know? Did you look it up, Ron? He knows exactly what's happening on the evacuation of the French hospital.
Ron's magic like that.
Yeah. So a man was hospitalized with a World War I artillery shell in his butt.
Oh, this is not where I thought we were going with this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Clearly Ron knew.
That is a good hook right there.
Yeah. A hospital in southern France had to be evacuated after a bizarre and dangerous incident involving an artillery shell. Late one Saturday night, a 24-year-old man showed up at the hospital complaining of intense abdominal pain.
You don't say.
Wow, I'm amazed. I'm surprised that happened. Medical staff soon discovered the shocking reason. He had inserted a World War I artillery shell into his rectum.
Bro.
So when the doctors, they right away got him into the emergency surgery, and during the operation, they they identified the object as a live, get this, live,
Oh,
8-inch long artillery shell from 1918. So due to the risk of, can you imagine being the doctor that has to operate on this guy?
long. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
That's terrible. Like that 8 inches is way too much. I don't care where you put it.
This. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that the doctors were judgmental of this when they found out what was going on? They had the dude probably put to bed. Do you think they were like,
talk about a time you need a robot? Who wants to operate and remove this from this guy?
Exactly. A live artillery shell.
You could die. No.
An 8-incher at that.
Yeah, an 8 inches is way too much. Like, come on. Oh, well, but who's putting stuff up there? And like, why is that a thing? That's what I don't understand. Well,
there you go.
Stole my line. Yes, Ron says the guy was the butt of jokes in that hospital. Yes, he was, guaranteed. So due to the risk of detonation, the bomb squad and the fire department were immediately called. The hospital was evacuated. Can you imagine? Okay, so you're sick. I mean, if you're in a hospital.
Yeah, right. I have to leave my comfort of my bed where I could, or potentially living out my final days because some idiot sat on a bomb.
Well, intentionally inserted something.
I know. I'm trying to keep it PG for the kids.
I know. I don't understand. I don't understand people's mentality.
And this is where you have that disclaimer as well, where it's like the stories being said today are not the opinion of Going On Daily. Yes. We do not agree with this, nor do we encourage this behavior in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. And we do not support these decisions in life. And we are hard pressed.
Old.
Yeah, we're hard pressed to figure out why.
You're old enough at that point to know what you're doing.
Aren't you? Like, I don't understand. Like, did he break up with his girlfriend and want to? Some people jump off a bridge. Some people, drown themselves. Go to the bar and have a few drinks. Like, come on.
I don't think there was a girlfriend involved, Sharon.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't think that's where you go when you break up with your girlfriend. That's not the first thought in your mind. Well, I've been a dude my whole life. Trust me, that is not the first place you go.
I don't understand what would possess someone to do it. I really have no idea why would people.
I would like to actually find this person and interview them on the show and say, what were you thinking there? Like, what exactly was going through your mind when you saw a artillery shell and you decided, hey, this needs to be somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. And then the worst part is when you realize that you're stuck and you realize, like, now I got to get people to help me. And it's like, how do you explain that when you walk into the ER? Do you even walk into the ER?
I don't know. I don't know how he got there. I don't know if he could have walked in and, as Ron says, fire in the hole.
Man. And again, that is something that probably was not even considered at the point. Was you could basically explode at any moment now. Was it really worth it?
That's why I'm saying, did something happen in his life and he was like, well, forget it. I don't want to live anymore. So this is my way out. Like that's
maybe, but that's a brutal way to decide to end it. I would definitely, I'd jump off a bridge. I'd get hit by a car. I mean, any number of things that I could think of before that became the go-to.
Yeah, you wonder what the mentality was there. I just don't get it. And 8 inches, like 8 inches is a significant length. It's not nothing. It is. No wonder he had abdominal pain. Come on. Like, what is, oh my God. Like,
I love our show. This is the greatest topic that there's going to be all week, I'm sure. I'm sorry to everybody else that's going to be participating in this show this week, but the evacuation of the French hospital and the reason for it. So I need to know more about the evacuation process, though, because there's a lot of people that need to be taken out here. So how does this all go about?
Well, they call many ambulances and they get people, they put them on stretchers and take them out of their rooms, roll them out to the ambulances, load them up. But where did they take them? And I mean, some people are hooked up to oxygen. Some people have, IV drips. Some people have just come out of surgery themselves.
Yeah, what do you do? Can you imagine waking up out of surgery and you're already a little bit groggy and you're in the middle of like a park or something outside and it's like, what's going on? Some dude we had to evacuate because of what happened here. And then you find this out and you're just wondering like, oh my God, I think I've died. I think this is the end. Cause like, how could this even happen? You come out of surgery and that's the story.
You wake up in an ambulance, you're like, what the hell's happening? Why am I in an ambulance? I should be in the, waking up in the recovery room. Nope, being evacuated because some guy put some things where the sun don't shine, as you say.
Man. And imagine that guy when he has to get out of the recovery room. Like, how long are you in the recovery room for that? That is that's not, hey, we just stitched you up a little bit. That's like,
now, but that affects the rest of his life. Like, how big of an opening did they have to make to remove this is what I would like to know. And
at least 8 inches.
But like, how
See,
wide?
That's the part that that's the part where without trying to sound too gross or too, whatever, we also kind of need to know, I mean, for informational purposes, of course, I guess the term would be the girth. Of the extraction, the artillery shell. I mean, are we looking at,
but they have to cut around it, right? They have to open up so that they can get in there and remove it safely. Like they didn't just
you don't just stick your hand in there and pull out an artillery shell. It doesn't work like that.
No. Apparently the munition team had to remove it.
So here's another question for this entire process. When this happens, do you think there's a textbook that explains how to perform this surgery? Or do you think this is probably the first time in the history of ever that this surgery has had to go down and somebody had to actually wing it? And then how would it feel to be that doctor that got called upon to be the one?
Exactly.
That's what you're going to be known for life.
That's but if you can perform that surgery safely, you can perform any surgery safely. I'd want him as my doctor because I'm like, hey, if you can do that and survive, woo, you can do anything, buddy. That's when they would have wanted to call you, Chuck, and say, hey, does your robot perform surgery? Can we borrow it? Can you
we'll figure it out? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Ron.
We got our producer, Ron. He just likes to come in every once in a while.
Ron pops in every once in a while. It's awesome. I always love that part of the show. Oh, yeah. See, you'd have a robot or something. Because I have to wonder, once that surgery has been performed successfully, and do we know for a fact that it was? I mean, did this guy survive?
It was. He required hospitalization after the operation, you think?
I would say.
And he was reportedly questioned by police.
Amongst other things. I have a ton of questions, but...
Me too.
That's brutal. So now you're the doctor, though, and you had to perform this once in a lifetime operation. Do you think now that seeing that this has been successfully operated on would motivate someone else to attempt maybe a 10-inch artillery shell? Maybe, I don't know. Now that you know that it's not going to kill you.
No.
You would think not, but again, we have people that thought that the first one was a good idea. So...
It's mind-boggling. But from the surgeon's perspective, okay, so after you're done the surgery, you still have to talk to him and tell him how the surgery went and what the ramifications of his actions are. Because let's face it, when you have something in that area of your body, in that orifice, and it has to be removed, there are implications.
You got issues.
Yep. And there are definitely implications for how, excretion is going to work, and what, maybe soft foods for a while while your intestinal tract heals.
You might want to do a liquid only diet for a minute here. I wouldn't be eating hot wings.
You're going to be blowing on soup for a while. Yeah, hot wings.
Man. Okay, so what about this? You're the doctor. You just did this successful surgery, and like you say, now we have to go in and explain to the patient. Can you look this patient in the eyes while you're telling him exactly what you did, knowing that you've got that intimate connection of, I basically just removed an artillery shell from your rectum.
From literally a dumbass. Like, come on. From your dumbass. I just removed an artillery shell. Like, people, come on. Oh my God. Yeah. So the doctor, and then the nurses and, the support staff that have to look after him, because who knows, he might have had to be sponge bathed or, there's going to be some care there because he's not going to be able to move around. He's not going to be able to sit up. That's for dang sure. You're not sitting.
Yeah, I can't even with that. That's yeah, you're spot on with that one. He ain't standing up or sitting down.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
yeah. Well, that's a great way to really kick off Love Week. I mean, that's a completely different type of love right there, ladies and gentlemen. And
oh my gosh, Ron has got it going
cow.
on. I heard he was the bomb.
Man, I'll tell you, they write themselves at this point. Unfortunately, really it's like I feel bad for someone that had to set that example, but at the same time, I don't, because you chose to set that example. That was what you picked to be known for in life. And in spite of the fact that it was not intentional, they always say, you know, accidents happen and you can be known for anything in life. To be the artillery shell guy would not be something that I would enjoy.
Can you imagine being his family?
You're in the hospital
or what?
No.
Oh, look at the hospital down the road is being evacuated today. Or, you know, you see on the local news, hospital evacuation.
Yeah, little
Jimmy. Tell his family. Yeah, Jimmy did not tell his family before he went in. They're watching it on the news or hearing about it on the radio or whatever the case may be, because he's an idiot. And they're like,
they're probably prominent in the community too. Probably the mayor.
Oh, wow. Wow, he took a shot at Guinness records, Ron says.
I would hope that is a one-time Guinness record that nobody tries to break.
Oh,
I don't think that Guinness would put that in the book, but we know the world record is 8. And we don't recommend ever trying to break that record, anybody.
8?
8.
What world record is that?
It was the 8-incher, right?
Oh, 8 inches. Oh, I thought there was some.
8's the world record.
the current standing world record. Oh,
it is.
Yikes.
I hope.
Yikes.
This would be terrible if we found out later that this is not the world record and this is just like an also ran, and there's like somebody that's actually accomplished more. Well,
there is actually, it led me to another segment, but I'm going to save it for another day. However, they do record what people put up themselves, what they put in that orifice, in their anal orifice. They record it, they keep track of it, and some of the things, I don't understand. First of all, why are you doing it? Secondly, you did what? Like,
what was the motivation, you know? And I just don't quite understand. And now I'm definitely going to tune into future episodes because I would like to know some of these things, because I don't know why I want to know. I guess I'm just messed up in the head.
It's a morbid fascination.
This is the world we live in, folks.
Yes, we're
not all normal, fun-loving people. Some people love fun more than others, and definition of fun is definitely up for interpretation.
Yes. And you want, self-driving cars saving people? Do people like that really need to be saved? I mean, seriously.
Well, yeah, okay. At that point, you could control the car, and it's like, just drive off the bridge, dude. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think at that point, you've kind of given up a lot of the ability to say that you're contributing anything positive to humanity, because are you leaving your kids with this guy? You trust him with your business? You trust him with anything,
Are you having kids with this guy? Who would want to procreate with someone who does that? I mean, come on.
Well, seriously. Again, I'm not sure that that's really an issue at this stage, because I think that one versus the other, I think there's an explanation that says, probably not having kids.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully we'll spare the world that, but
definitely not procreating. There you go.
Oh, Ron. I can't even read some of the things Ron is writing, because
I love our episodes. They're so much fun. We've got all kinds of stuff going on in the background here. But yes, that right there is an amazing topic to end our show with on Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I can only assume that they go up from here. We've set the bar relatively low.
Well, we gave you a lot of food for thought, that's for sure. Yeah. So we might be bringing up the rear in episode this week.
It ended with a bang. There you go.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Chuck, for being such a great co-host and for having such a wonderful sense of humor about this all. And when I realized it was you, I was like, okay, I can do this story. Some people I wouldn't have, but
there you go. I'm glad that I'm the guy that you saw that and said, yep, that's going to be just fine.
You have a sense of humor. So And not that other
Indeed.
people don't. Not that other people don't. Yeah. So anyways, I know you'd see the humor in it. We could discuss it. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the Going On Daily broadcast for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, it's myself with Kenny. I'm excited about that show. Very excited. I've never done a show with Kenny before, so it'll be interesting. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and yeah, 8 a.m. Mountain Time.
I think it's going to be like 9 p.m. in Uganda when Becky tunes in. So there you go.
Yes, I can
Worldwide.
hardly wait to see Becky tune in from there. And where can people find you, Chuck? Where can they
I'm
find
anywhere
you
that you look. I tell my homeowners, type in Chuck Allen Roofing and see what pops up. But you can check me out at youtube.com/ChuckAllen210. All the social medias are just under my name. So if you want to find me hard enough, I'm pretty easy to spot.
You're out there. You can find me at Facebook and YouTube at Holy Shift Balls. Do our Holy Shift Balls podcast every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, noon Eastern, and 10 Mountain. So we look forward to seeing you then. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with Kenny.
Have a great day, everybody.